Ethan and I have been married for 3 years. He always seemed so different from the guys I usually met through my family's social circles. My family is well off, not crazy rich, but I've never had to stress about money. Ethan, on the other hand, comes from a modest background. Last weekend, we renewed our vows in a small ceremony with just our closest friends and family. He actually cried while reading his vows to me, saying I was the best thing that ever happened to him. A few days later, I went on a long-awaited girls' trip to Charleston with my 3 best friends from college. We had it all planned: spa days, winery tours, and checking out that trendy rooftop bar we'd seen all over Instagram. But things didn't go as expected. One of my friends got food poisoning, and another had to handle an unexpected work crisis. The trip started falling apart, so we decided to cut it short. I figured it was the perfect chance to surprise Ethan. He's always telling me how much he misses me when I'm away, constantly sending me selfies from our couch with those puppy dog eyes. So I took an early flight home, stopped by his favorite taco spot to grab his go-to order, and picked up some craft beer he'd been raving about. I was so excited, imagining the look on his face when he saw me. I entered through the garage using my code to make the surprise even better. Our house has this weird layout where you can't see the living room from the entryway, but I could hear him upstairs in his gaming room, clearly on a call. I set the food down in the kitchen and quietly started up the stairs, thinking I'd catch him mid-conversation and make it a fun moment. Then I heard it. Marriage is a complete nightmare, man. Every morning, I wake up regretting my decision. I froze on the stairs. My heart stopped. I told myself he had to be joking, so I waited for the laugh. But there was no laugh. If it weren't for her family's money, I'd be gone already. The only good part about this whole thing is not having to stress about bills. The vow renewal last weekend. Absolute torture. Standing there, pretending to be madly in love while her family ate it up. At least I've gotten good at the performance. Oscar-worthy, really. Then he actually laughed. Like it was all just some big joke. But hey, small price to pay for the lifestyle, right? Her dad's planning to bring me into the family business next year. Once I'm established, I'll have options. More than just being the rich wife's husband. The rich wife. That's what he calls me behind my back. 3 years of marriage, and that's all I am to him. I don't even remember how I managed it, but I silently backed down the stairs, grabbed the food and beer, and slipped out the door. I returned everything to the restaurant, saying my husband wasn't feeling well, then texted my friends that I was heading to a hotel near the airport to catch up on work before flying back. I spent hours driving, trying to figure out what to do. Every memory of our relationship played back in my mind, but now through this awful new lens. The times he insisted on paying for cheap dinners. How he resisted my help with his student loans until I basically forced him to accept it. His big dreams that never seemed to take shape, until my dad offered connections. I went back to Charleston. Spent the next 3 days pretending everything was fine, even though I felt like I was dying inside. Probably drank way too much wine just to get through it. Then, when my trip was originally supposed to end, I went home like nothing had happened. I kissed the man who called our marriage a nightmare. Looked into his eyes, the ones that had lied to me for years, and played along. It's been 5 days now. 5 days of sharing a bed with someone who secretly resents waking up next to me. 5 days of questioning every moment we've ever had, wondering what was real and what was just part of his little act. But Ethan has no idea what's coming. He thinks he's playing me, but he's about to find out just how wrong he is. I'm done being his rich wife. And when I'm through, he'll regret ever thinking he could get away with this. What I did next, well, that's a story for another time.